All right, I think this is working. Let's see here. First time for everything, right? Whoa, all right. This looks like it's working. All right. So, I had this idea to build a portfolio manager, an AI portfolio manager, kind of like J.A.R.V.I.S from the Marvel Universe. And that's what we're going to build today from scratch. I was inspired because I've seen a series of memes where people sit down in front of Cloud Code and, you know, they play that good old-fashioned Marvel scene. See if I can play it for you guys here. Let's see. This guy.
Wake up, Daddy's home.
Welcome home, sir.
That's totally the vibe we're going for here.
They was such a success, as was your Senate hearing. And may I say how refreshing.
Good times. Long time ago. Saw that in theaters, but good times. Let's see if we can build this from scratch. See if we can actually fetch live portfolio data. See if we can actually put together something capable of actually talking to us and talking back to it. I think it would be pretty sweet. Let's see. Looks like the chat is up and running. How's my day? My day is going great. Thanks for asking. First live stream. It sure is. Sure is my first live stream. I'm pretty stoked. Let's see what happens. I'm going to start first by sharing my iPad. Talk a little bit about what it is I'm trying to build here. Here we go. All right. So I want to build this sort of AI portfolio manager situation here. I want to build like a J.A.R.V.I.S for portfolio management. What's going to go into this guy here? We're going to need some sort of user interface. We're going to need some sort of Python client. We're going to need to get market data. I'm going to use the trader workstation, interactive brokers. Then we're going to need an LLM. I'm just going to use ChatGPT. And this is what we're going to be working on today. Cool. Chat's up and running. What's up, guys? Will I upload this after? Yeah, sure will. Sure will upload this after so you guys can check it out. So our client's going to create the user interface, and our client is going to go reach out to TWS and come back via the eClient, or I should say this is two separate steps. The eClient is going to make requests to TWS. It'll come back via callback methods in the eWrapper. And then our client's going to reach out to ChatGPT. And it will respond, and then we will go back and forth updating that user interface. I think this is pretty much everything we need. We're also going to need some sort of text-to-speech, speech-to-text situation, because I don't want this to just spit out text. I also want this to be able to to speak, just like, you know, the J.A.R.V.I.S from the clip that we saw. So I'm going to have to figure out some sort of library for text-to-speech as well. If you guys know of any, you can leave it in the chat there. But let's see. Let's see what's going on. The war ended. Is that right? Stock's getting a nice bump then? What's going on here? Let's take a look. Pull up my trader workstation. I don't see much action. Pretty business as usual. I don't know if that's true or not, but in any case, Let's keep cooking with this. So I'm going to start with making a brand new project, and we're going to see if we can connect all these dots here. Call this J.A.R.V.I.S. All right. This will be our folder. So we're going to build this out right now in Cursor. Let's see what we can do. Create a new Cursor window. Let's do J.A.R.V.I.S. All right. Let's give this a shot here. We're going to have to draw up a user interface, but I want to start with a couple of smoke tests just to get all the APIs working. So let's just start with trying to connect to Creator Workstation. Okay. We'll create a Python script to connect and disconnect to Creator Workstation. We'll get a controller set up first with the eClient and the eWrapper so we can send and receive requests. We'll use IB API for this. So we're going to connect to this guy right here. This is the paper trading Creator Workstation. And we're going to first create a Python script to implement eWrapper and eClient in a controller class. Do a smoke test connection to Creator Workstation. That's what we're going to do first. Then we're going to try to get OpenAI all set up. Okay. So here is our dashboard for our API keys. I'm going to create a new API key. You can head on over to platform.openai.com. You can get set up with some sort of API budget for yourself. I'm going to create a new secret key here. I'm going to call it the J.A.R.V.I.S project for what we're working on today. J.A.R.V.I.S PM projects. Create the secret key. Copy this guy here. Then we should be able to throw this into Cursor. So here is our Python script to connect and disconnect from the Creator Workstation. See if I give this a quick run here. Good. All right, looks like everything works as intended here. Good, so we connected on the local host. We received information about our paper trading account. And then we were able to request a disconnect and we're all set. So we have our main controller now for the market data and how we can actually fetch our portfolio information, which is great. Now we need to set up this smoke test effectively for the OpenAI API. So I'll create a new agent window here. Let's create a smoke test script for using the OpenAI API. This is the Python SDK. And I want to hard code my secret key. I wouldn't recommend doing this in production, but for the purposes of this, instead of managing some sort of environment, it'll be reasonable. Use my API secret key. Hard code for demo purposes. And I'm just going to delete this secret key after this video is uploaded anyway, so fair enough. Got OpenAI's API, IB API. That's pretty much all we need on the information front. So we're going to be able to feed then ChatGPT information from the Creator Workstation, And then we're going to be able to have ChatGPT respond to that information in real time. We'll be able to continue to prompt it with some sort of user interface. But again, I want some sort of like text to speech, speech to text situation here. All right. Let's see what this smoke test looks like. Cool, we got our secret key hard-coded for demo purposes. Little smoke test here. Trying to list off some models. Let's see how this runs. Nice, all right. Good, we're all connected on that front now. Now we need to figure out this whole user interface situation. See what we got going on here. All right. So what should this user interface look like? Let's see. Good, that's our secret key. See if I can share my iPad again. 2686. I'm not sure how I want to structure the user interface. Maybe a little bit like a chat window that we're typically used to is something like a ChatGPT. So maybe we'll have some sort of like text field down here with a button to send a message and keep it kind of prompt style. I do want that text to speech though as well. So you have that like interactive component to it. I think that's what makes this kind of more of a fun project than just, you know, a ChatGPT wrapper with some live market data. So let's see how we can do this. We need some sort of package for text to speech. So let's see what's available to us for that sort of thing. Looking for a text-to-speech library. If anyone knows of a text-to-speech library, let me know in that little chat window here. Still getting up and running, live streaming for the first time, but I'm pretty stoked to get this all set up. Let's see what we can do in terms of text-to-speech right now. Looks like this is an option here. We got Google text-to-speech. I'm not too sure how good these are, but could give it a shot. Haven't played too much with the speech to text, text to speech. Looks pretty easy. Looks pretty cool. Probably have to run a pip install for this. Let's do that. Let's see, I see in the chat, genuine question, if you were to start from the beginning to Quant, where you're at right now, how would the roadmap look like? Well, if only someone made a video called the Quant Roadmap, that would be absolutely electric. Highly recommend checking out that video. I have a video on the Quant Roadmap. If you go back, start from scratch, and build out towards Quant Trader, Quant Developer, Quant Researcher. Yeah. sklearn have deep learning library for text-to-speech to figure out possibly what you need in detail. That's a good question. Let's look. I'm not sure if that's baked into sklearn. The carrot farmer question. That's a good question. Dude, I think about being a carrot farmer all the time. How sick would that be? Trader Workstation, that's a good question. Why do I use Trader Workstation instead of IB Gateway? It's just for simplicity's sake, so we can actually see the orders place in real time versus me just having up a gateway for the API and saying that everything is working as intended. You can actually see the orders placed on TWS. All right, so I just downloaded this text-to-speech library. I don't know if this is any good, but I do want to give this a shot here. And then let's talk more about this user interface as well as we kind of keep marching along. Maybe we have some more ideas, figure out what that looks like. Maybe I get Gemini to generate like some sort of animation for like for, you know, our Jarvis talking to us here. But let's see what we got going on. I'm going to pull up cursor, see if we can get a demo of this text-to-speech, Pi text-to-speech 3. Okay, see how this looks here. One thing at a time, right? Our LLM smoke test is good. Our IB smoke test is good. Let's try this text-to-speech. I think you guys can hear my desktop audio. Let me give this a run here.
Hello.
Hello.
This is a PyTTSX3 text-to-speech demo for J.A.R.V.I.S.
That is great. I don't think that's
Hello. This is a PyTTSX3 text-to-speech demo for
It's
J.A.R.V.I.S.
a little loud too. Let me lower the desktop audio. It does not sound very good. Yeah, no, I definitely added as a layer to make it cooler for sure. The text to speech, I highly recommend. Spectral method option press which gives analytical Greek surface 1,000 times faster. That sounds pretty cool. It sounds very promising. Curious as to if it's model agnostic or not. Yeah, I'd love to see more. Interesting. Okay, let's see here. We need something better than that. I don't think that's what I'm going for with this text to speech. Maybe Google text to speech is better. Here, a wrapper for Microsoft Edge's neural text to speech. Azure style voices for free without an API key. That sounds like it could be better. Oh, I see. Text into signals via sklearn. That makes sense. Yeah, for like word to vec or any sort of vectorization. Yeah, that makes sense. But Pi 3 text to speech. I'm curious about this. Well, this is what we just. No, I guess this is different. Pi 3. Oh, I see. This is originally what we just installed here. This is the next step up. Yeah, I don't know about all this. I think we need a better one. Let's try Google text-to-speech. Maybe this is better. Pip install text-to-speech. Straightforward enough. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. What in the world is that? Some crazy version requirement errors here. I'm not dealing with that for text-to-speech. What we got going on? We need something better. Has anyone got a better text-to-speech library we could use in this? This is terrible. All right. I don't want this to bottleneck us right now, so we can always sub that in and out. Maybe for now we'll just keep building out the system, and then we'll sub in a better text-to-speech as we go along. I think that'll probably be better. All right, let's do that. Because I'm lazy, I don't want to install it to a virtual environment. That's why. Okay. Let's do the next step here is building out this user interface. What should this look like? Should it just look like a chat window with portfolio information at the top? We could do portfolio information, and then it'd be kind of cool. Maybe we do like some sort of scrolling news ticker here for different holdings that we have. Maybe we make this more of like a Flask app for a UI. That could be pretty neat. Yeah, that could work. All right, let's just try building out some sort of staging for this. Yeah, I'll post this to YouTube later. All right, let's do this user interface. The spectral model is not model agnostic. That's what I figured, but it sounds pretty cool. I would say, like, how familiar are you with like approximating pricing functionals using machine learning and that kind of stream of literature? I'd be curious if, like, in terms of calibration, because I think that's what you said it was, right? Up to 1,000 times faster Greeks. Yeah, I'd be curious if you played it all in the signature space or the approximating pricing functional space. Yeah, you could totally send it to support@quantguild.com. I'll check out the deck. I'm curious. You've piqued my interest. Fortunately for you, that's a favorite favorite research topic of mine, so I don't mind taking a look. That's cool. Okay. Let's work on this user interface. Let's build out a clean UX with, I guess it would be similar to like a ChatGPT interface, but at the top with portfolio information like netlick, holdings, unrealized P&L, maybe a table for positions. I guess that's what the holdings is. Let's do this as a Flask app. So we can use the OpenAI SDK and IB API with TWS. Yeah, we are totally shorting Pi text-to-speech 3 after this. 100%. 100%. Do I have a different community other than Quant Guild or discourses? Not quite. I do have a Discord, but I don't respond there much. Fast API is much better than Flask. I don't doubt it. To backtest my crypto strategies, optimal build my own backtesting framework. I mean, it depends on how serious you are about trading, right? If you're going to use third-party software or building it all in-house, it's, I don't know, it's like asking, it's really just a question about scale, like what it is you're trying to do. If you're on your own in a retail capacity, then yeah, just, I guess you could rock third-party software. I don't personally. I never do. All right, let's see here. We got a little Flask action here. Let's give this a little run. See how this is looking. Whoa, that looks pretty cool. So we got our J.A.R.V.I.S up here, connected to IB. AI is currently offline. Hello, I'm J.A.R.V.I.S, connected to TWS, load your portfolio data. I don't think there's any... Yep, it's not configured. The OpenAI key is probably... They're probably assuming that it's in the environment variables. So we'll update that, and I'm going to hard code it. Again, wouldn't recommend you hard code anything in reality, but for now, for this video, it will certainly suffice. Just like trying to install things globally, I'm not interested. Let's see. Is it worth learning to code in 2026? What LLM am I using, Cursor? I use it on Auto. If not, I'll just use typically any Anthropic situation. Is it worth learning to code? Dude, that's tough, man. Is it worth learning to code? I kind of go back and forth on this, but I think that you need to learn how to code. Otherwise, your vibe coding is going to be garbage. And you're not going to know why things don't work. But, you know, depends on... It's the same as the other question, right? It's the same thing. It's like, should you use third-party software for back testing? It's like, that's a question of scale, what it is you're trying to do. It's like, are you trying to become a quantitative developer and you want to use vibe coding as a force multiplier on your knowledge, or are you just going to like kind of close your eyes and prompt it to death to get it to just work, right? Like, these are fundamentally two different things. I like this though. I really do like this user interface. So let's see what we can do to configure this OpenAI key. We have a smoke test here for our OpenAI key. Connects to ChatGPT. Can you hard code the API key for simplicity's sake? A lot of top engineers already knew how to code, my guy. That is a very important thing to remember. They didn't just wake up one day and, you know, they were a top engineer from vibe coding for the last 20 years. It's a very important thing. Is Python enough for what? Like, to be a quant, to be a developer, to be a trader, to be like, it's enough for what? I don't use Quant Connect. All right. This should be good now. Keep this guy here. Let's give this a little run. Refresh. Cool. How's it going? Still not configured. How is it reading the API key is really the question that I have. Oh, look at that. It even gives it a prior. So I didn't draw this, but we also probably need to store the application state in like JSON. So like this is probably going to have to spit out like a JSON log just so we don't feel like we're talking to something that is a goldfish and forgets everything that it said and everything that we talked about. So I'll probably have it dump a compressed version of the chat history. And then when we relaunch the application, we'll reload the JSON in. I think that's what we're going to end up doing here. All right. Let's see. Where is this API key? Config. I don't know. It's right there in our configure. Let's see what we got here. Should you learn C or C++ for quant trading, or is Python enough? I mean, C, C++ is definitely more on the quant dev side of things. It's definitely not required for quant trading. You're kind of going to lean more towards quant research anyway in quant trading. Ripping backtests and prototypes on-prem with Python. How many hours a day do you study to become a good quant? As pretty much all of them. What's up? Nico, what's up? This is pretty cool. I haven't live streamed before, but I like it. All right, we're trying to fix right now this OpenAI key pinging. Oh, I was running multiple instances. Someone should have told me. Let's see if this works now. Nice. Let's go. Look at that. All right. What is my net lick? Let's see if it has that information or if we have to. Yo, that's sick. All right, cool. So it already has all the information available via the portfolio. That's awesome. That's very good. Oh, man. All right, now we got to do some cool stuff here. So let's start with, let's see, is this real time? I don't think this is this updating in real time? This is my, the market price, I don't know how it's running right now. I think we need to use Ajax. Okay. Okay, we don't need it to run anymore. So using the callback methods in eWrapper, update the UX every second with portfolio info. Oh, I see. That's why it wasn't working. Okay. We had multiple Flask apps running, that's why. Python is a more versatile starter. I certainly agree. It is my favorite language. It's pretty much the only language I code in now. I used to code a lot in Java and C, C++. Started in Visual Basic and Flash, if you can believe it, that long ago. Can it automatically execute positions? Yes, it certainly can. We're going to give J.A.R.V.I.S the ability to do that. And we do that by giving it function stubs. We're going to give it function stubs. No, I'm not building an LLM or tuning it anything right now. I'm just using it out of the box. We're pulling from interactive brokers. J.A.R.V.I.S is pulling from interactive brokers. How do I make a market on futures? Magic. Completely magic. Just going to guess the price direction up or down. Okay. So this should work now with a better stream of data. See what this looks like. So there's our unrealized P&L changing in real time on the back end, but I don't think it's updating the Flask view. $835, $842. The log is updating with live info, but the Flask app UX isn't. Might need Ajax. We totally need a stock ticker here too. I think that would be absolutely sick, just across the top. Then we need some Pi text to speech solution. If anyone actually has a suggestion for what to do about the text to speech, I would certainly be open to it instead of me just spamming Google searches here. Landed an internship? Dude, congrats. That is electric. That is awesome. Stoked to hear that, man. Stoked to hear that. What is my token usage? I don't know. I think it was in the billions last I checked. Is there like a dashboard for it? I don't know. This is one of my cursors. 1.25 AI line edits. I don't know if I can dump the data somewhere, but I use a lot of tokens. All right, let's see if we can do this. There we go. I think that fixes the stream of data. It's still not updating the template. Oh man. HTML, dude. It's just killing me here. $54. $50. It's totally working on this back end, but this user interface is not displaying the live prices. Knowledge on marketing. Marketing what? Check out Quant Guild, check out Discourses. That's marketing, right? Improve math for quant trading. You should probably be practicing math every day. Dude, I hate HTML. This is crazy. Does anyone know why this template's not updating in real time on Flask? Look max the jawline. Yeah, I do my best every day. I try to get my reps in, you know. This is pretty close to what we're looking for here. What I'm curious about is, even though the UX isn't updating, is the text that J.A.R.V.I.S is conditioned on the back end updating. So if I request net lick more than once, do you think it's going to update with the actual account net liquidation? I might need to restart the front end. Yeah, it does seem that way. Dude, we're loading up as much as possible on deep out of the money HTML puts right now. That is 100% what's going on. I'm betting the house on deep out of the money HTML puts. That is totally what we're doing here. Probably do have to restart the front end. A lot of my colleagues had a background in particle physics PhDs. Very interesting folks. Not exactly the not exactly the most social of animals, you know, but very smart people. Dude, this thing's just ripping Flask out. Hey, there we go. That's what we're looking for. All right, good. Dude, day in the life would kind of be a fun video to put together. That'd be pretty sweet. Cool. Oh, that would be, yeah, I should have opened up DevTools and HTML with F12. Thank you. I don't know why I was not thinking of that. That is wise. All right, this should work now. Famous last words. This should work. How we doing? Nice. So my unrealized P&L, that's updating. I don't think my... We need to insert unrealized P&L here. It's not updating in the table, but it's updating in the chart here, unrealized P&L. My net lick isn't updating, which I don't love. Why is everyone obsessed with becoming quants now? It is because being a quant is sick. Being a quant is awesome. I need to update net lick now. So I wonder if this matches... I see. It's not updating on the account view. So it's not going to ping the callback method with the update to netlick yet. Look at that. Buy high, sell low. That's what it's all about right there. That's what it's all about. All right. There we go. Netlick just updated. See? 188. So I don't know when is portfolio... Oh, that's right. It's on like a schedule or something like that for account updates. It's a portfolio event in the callback method. I forget what it's called. When positions reprice, we roll it into netlick. So if you see P&L firing every second in logs, netlick looks stale. That's expected, right? That is the intended functionality. P&L doesn't touch netlick. We need an update account value with netlick. We could have it fire every like 5 seconds. That's totally sufficient for what we got going on. If we get it to fire every 5 seconds, we'll update like our gross position value, our buying power, total cash, net lick. Unrealized P&L, I think, is on a tick-by-tick basis right now. The holdings here, I don't think they're updating until a refresh or like a reprice, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that would be true. Let's see if this works. Every 5 seconds, we should requery netlick then. I mean, unless it doesn't change. All right, well, unrealized P&L is updating for now. Netlick could be a little bit stale. What does it look like in our console? Oh, we're not pinging the console anymore. That's about right. Cool, look at that. J.A.R.V.I.S has all of our positions. That's terrific. So we're holding NVIDIA. Let's see. I want to give it the ability to buy or sell. So we're going to have to give it function stubs. Let's see if it works in real time here. Let's do Google.
Order partially filled.
Nice. That's sweet. Okay. What positions are we holding now? I thought the math I studied was useless until 6 months ago. Discovering quantitative finance. Music to my ears. Math is far from useless. Probably the best thing you could study, in my opinion. All right, looks like J.A.R.V.I.S is updating with our portfolio information. That is amazing. We need to give it the ability to buy and sell now. So what we're going to do is we're going to cache the security information from our position, so it's going to be able to manage the active positions for us. Then we got to figure out how we want to populate the security information for positions that we don't have actively in our portfolio. But let's start with the other one first. So give chat function stubs for placing orders with IB so it can manage our portfolio. Cool. I'm looking forward to that spectral method slide deck. I'll take a look after this. How much do I spend a month running AI models? In the thousands, very easily. Quant math is on the way. Rip to all NVIDIA option buyers. Yeah, that sucks. That does suck. I would not choose computer science as a major anymore unless you would absolutely more than anything else love to be a quantitative developer. I don't think that you should do that. I think you should do math instead, but that is my opinion based on what I've seen. Give this a go here. Just a little restart. All right. Sell my Google position. Yes. So there's our Google buy. I don't see our Google sell. Good, execute it. No. You should be able to. You should be able to. So, for those of you unfamiliar with what we're doing right now, I am trying to give the LLM the function stub so it can parameterize it and call the function. So it's going to try to actually call that as a function. So really, like what I'm trying to talk about here, what I'm saying here is pretty interesting. Let me see. Should reshare my screen with this. Crash course in large language models. What's going on here is, here's our user interface. So we have some vector we're throwing into this LLM, and it's going to output a vector and translate that into text. That's essentially what's going on here. Yeah, there's positional encoding. Yeah, there's attention mechanisms. Yes, I know how transformers work, but my point is, right, if I'm trying to ask it to do 2 + 2, right, really what it's going to do in this sort of like transformation here through this crazy high dimensional LLM is it's going to try to predict the response for as a token, but we don't want it to, in that sense, we don't want to just predict the token. We actually want to execute this as an operation. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually extract the arguments 2 and 2 and have a function add x and y that we're going to pass these arguments to. Then we're actually going to analytically compute the 4 rather than just trying to predict it as a token. That is the objective here. It's the same exact idea for calling like a function to execute a cell order with Google. So let's see if we can run this. See if we can actually execute that cell order now, just directly. So here is our... That looks good. There's our positions. We got 100 Google, 100 NVIDIA, sell Google position, all of it. Confirm. Dude, this is outrageous. Log into your Interactive Brokers account, enter, and sell. This is crazy. That's not at all what we're trying to do here. You know what? I have another project. We did this the other week. I'm pulling it out. I'm pulling it out. Did I post it to Discourses? Is that what I did? I think I posted it to Discourses, so that's where we're going to get it from then. All right, Discourses. This guy here. This is where it is. Okay. Entrepreneurship. It's a good goal. Oh, you're British. How about that? Yeah, I probably should switch to Cloud Code. It's bred from more laziness than anything else. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so the working script from my previous video where we did a chat trading bot for NVIDIA when it was calling the function stub, it was always placing the order using real order IDs and setting the required ordered flag. I see. So orders were only recorded locally and never sent to TWS. All right. That makes sense to me. See if we can fix it. Dude, this is like trying to jam a square peg in a round hole, but you know what? We're going to get there. That's what it's all about. Hanging out, coding some sort of AI J.A.R.V.I.S PM situation. Checking out the chat, talking to you guys. This is pretty cool. I like this. Dick's cursor months ago using Cloud and VS Code. I'll have to check that out. I went from VS Code to cursor, so maybe it's time to go back. All right, come on, man. Let's see if this goes. Confirm with good, execute it. Got to start somewhere. Ugh, my iPad connected to localhost. There we go. Really? There we go. We're up and running. Dude, I wish I was LARPing as a JP Morgan employee. Do you guys see that thing the other day with that chick over there? Do I play any video games? Dude, I wish. I played Path of Exile. That game was sick. I think Path of Exile 2. Oh, let's go! That's what it's all about right there. That's massive. That is absolutely massive. All right. That's it has full control now over TWS. That's what we want. That's what we want. This is great. That's max EV right there. That is Edge. That is exactly what Edge is. All right. That's awesome. Connect to creator workstation. Connector failed. That's huge. That's huge. All right, let's keep cooking. Absolute dub city. All right, we need... I don't think this is... Oh, dude, come on. There's like... How many terminals are running right now? This is so bad. You see this? This is like... My stale terminals are hiding. That should completely nuke this instance of the local host. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually kind of stoked I snagged that script from Discourses so we could keep cooking on this. This is great. That looks good. What's going on here? We still have our NVIDIA position. We're having trouble connecting to the local host right now. Let's see here. Come on, man. Where's this going? $43. Oh, dude, come on, man. This is ridiculous. Like 30 cursor windows up. All right, forget it. You're just gonna nuke it. Gotta nuke her every now and again. But it works on my machine, but it doesn't work on my machine sort of situation going on here. I got reflect. Do I have reflector open? Oh my god, this thing keeps stealing my local host. That's so stupid. All right, there we go. That's why when I share my iPad, sometimes it hops on localhost. Look at all these cursor windows. Look at this. Okay. There we go. All right, liquidate my NVIDIA position. Dude, that is just absolutely electric. You hear this? Just like actually filling my trades for me. This is the way that it's supposed to be. All right. We got to make this cooler. Portfolio news has to be scrolling as a ticker across the top first. So let's add that. Query news relating to our holdings and Bloomberg style have it scrolling as a ticker. Where should we put it? Put it above portfolio view. Yeah, like underneath, like right here. Like right here. I'm thinking get a cool ass ticker right here. Scrolling. Yeah, I mean, we can make a call straight to IBKR for the news snapshot endpoint via eClient. It'll respond to eWrapper. We could take those headlines and throw it there Bloomberg ticker style. Yeah, that's what we're rocking with here. Dude, maybe instead of like getting text to speech, I could just hop on with one of you guys and you could read what the LLM is saying. Could train it in that way. British guy text to speech summarizing. Genuine question, bro. Just keep building stuff. Keep building cool shit. That's what it's all about right there. Keep building cool shit. Dude, I'm so amped this thing is making. We are ahead of schedule. We're only an hour in. It's already making function calls to our TWS. That's absolutely electric. Should get this news ticker going and it's going to be even better. Missing the connection to TWS. Is there another one? What happened? Getting a connection failed. Gonna feed it the error, but I'm also gonna look in the logs and see what's going on here. I don't know. It doesn't look like we're failing the connection. Oh, I see. It's with the news endpoint. I think they outsource historical earnings via IBKR. If I'm not mistaken. I've used Alpaca before. If you go back, way back in my Quant Builds playlist, like way back, you'll see that I did like one of my first ever Quant Builds with Alpaca. I just never used them for live trading because I want to be wired directly to it via IB Gateway. Okay, it looks like we're getting duplicate client errors. That's what was going on. Yeah, see how this is still up? That's, I think, what the problem is. Still getting some errors here, but we're querying. What's weird is we're querying the net lick. So I think I need to go back. Something going on here. Big fan, man. Thank you. That's really kind. Very happy to hear that. Come on, man. Let's see if we can get this show on the road here. We're querying netlick, but the UX is frozen. etc. Something in the news call. There's an issue with the news callback method, and we got to figure out what that is. Oh, you're the zone guy from Discourses? Cool, man. How's it going? You had some great posts. Thanks for posting. Later, man. Cool, dude. That's what it's all about. Keep building stuff. Glad to hear that. So, see, there's something going on here. On one run, it's creating two instances here. This is kind of just a mess. All right. This is still running. Dude, this is... That's crazy. All right, I'm going back up. We got to go back. Undo. Undo. Oh man, what's going on here? We got to figure out this connection issue. All right, come on. Let's keep the party going, dude. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. That's kind of the idea. I'm just using the Interactive Broker's new snapshot endpoint, but there's something up with the UX right now where it's not loading the positions, but we'll figure it out. You know, it's part of the process here. You know, part of the process. Painstaking process. Dude, Nvidia post smash earnings 219 is just it's like great. Oh man. Hardest math concept, probably iterated integrals for path signatures. Just the geometry of it didn't make any sense to me at all. Honestly, it still kind of doesn't, but whatever. So this is weird. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. This is still running another instance of Python. That's part of the issue here. Let's see what we got. Oh, man. We could totally do it. Could totally do it, guys. All right, we're going to give this a run. Could not reach J.A.R.V.I.S server. The connection is active. All right, so the OpenAI endpoint's fine, but it's not connecting to TWS. When I get rid of this terminal, does it stay alive? No, that's good. We really should have better logs, honestly, in the terminal, but, you know. Anyone got anything for text-to-speech that doesn't sound atrocious? Python text-to-speech library? This should not be running right now. We got to get rid of this guy. I mean, that's fine. I guess we could run it from the terminal, but... Python 3 app.py. Python app.py. Google Cloud Text-to-Speech. That's chill. Is there an exception there? No, it's just a dev server. So we're getting all of the information in the console. What the heck? You know, this is what happens when you try to add something cool and you is like working as intended. It can trade your positions, and it's like, oh, I just want like a news ticker across the top to look cool, and it just breaks everything. I don't really have a reason for choosing cursor over cloud code. I've just been using cursor for a tremendous tremendous number of hours. Oh man. We're gonna get this working, guys. We're gonna get this working. So even though we're connected right now, let's figure out what's going on here. Even though we're connected right now, it says that we're offline. And even though we're connected to the OpenAI API, it says to connect to TWS. So, like, there's something here that's not receiving the information from the server. We got to figure out what this is. CoQ-TTS and Google. Okay, Google Cloud Text-to-Speech and CoQ-TTS. Haven't heard either of these. Let's see. And then there's Google Cloud Text-to-Speech. Let's hear it. Jeez.
Movies.
Oh my gosh, I just absolutely
love
them.
them.
They're like time machines, taking you to different worlds and landscapes, and I just can't get enough of it.
I mean, it's good, you know, but like, that's a hell of a demo. All right. Oh man. Oh, jeez. Why is this still running? This doesn't even make any sense. Ah, there we go. Okay. Connect to TWS. No open positions. Okay, let's close this Python here. Dude, I should call that the title of the video. Jarvis makes me a millionaire. That's a great video title. You know, a little clickbaity. Can't possibly actually make me. It could. You never know. So it's still not querying these positions, and that is very irritating. All right, where were we before this nightmare started? Pre-news ticker. Dude, where are my checkpoints? Is this nuked? That's like totally not promising. Oh, wait, no. Never mind. We have a net zero position. This is totally fine. Hold on. Yo, let's go. Okay. That's huge. So it's executing fine, but it's not updating the UX. Yeah, I totally should work with markdown files. There's a lot of things we should do to make this actually scalable, but we're just building J.A.R.V.I.S. We're hacking this together. All right, this is huge so far. Okay, this is huge so far. Let's see what we can do with this UX now. Oh, look at that. That is absolutely massive. Look at this. This is our Ratchet Bloomberg terminal. Look at that. That's so sick. That's pretty neat. Pretty neat. All right. I mean, like, this is pretty sweet. So what I want to do is I want to see how ambiguous we can ask J.A.R.V.I.S to create positions. Based on the Mag 7, take the most promising position with 100 shares. I want you to pick. Dude, that's so crazy. That is absolutely sick. Like, literally no oversight. Just like pick the absolute best one and execute the trade. It picked the security parameters on its own. That is awesome. That is really cool. That is really cool. So on refresh, that's when dude, look at that news ticker. I mean, that's awesome. That's really sick. Okay. So now we got to start getting into some text-to-speech stuff. See if we can actually get this guy talking to me. Do we use the do we use like the godforsaken Pi TTS 3 like for getting started? Can it trade options? It must be able to, but it's gonna have to define a security contract first. Can I say like? I don't think I can say like no. Well, trade a 30 delta call. I don't think it has a way to resolve a 30 delta call. Like if I go to the options trader, let's go to like Microsoft, and we'll do like, I don't know. Let's just do let's just do next month so we have some more time, like a regular. Look at a 30 delta. Call something like this, 440. I don't know if it's going to be able to extract the contract parameters for this particular call. So if we go to the actual parameters for this, here they are. I don't know if it can extract that information for that instrument, but let's try. Can only execute stock trades. We would have to probably figure out a way. So that's actually really interesting. We would have to... What would we have to do? We would need to define a function to be able to extract the contract definition based on... I mean, we would probably parameterize the option contract based... Well, parameterize. Like, select it based on a delta target. So it's like 28 days to expiration. I want to sell a 30 delta call. So we would need to build a strike resolver. This is very similar to what I did in... You know what it's very similar to? It's very similar to the resolver that I built in the wheel. If you go to my profile on Discourses, like in this video, this one where we did the wheel strategy, we built a strike resolver So that's what we would have to do first. We would have to build a strike resolver and then extract the contract parameters, and then it would be able to place a function, or it would be able to place an order in that. Right. Or delta hedge my NVIDIA position. Yeah, you totally could as well. You could totally rock that too. 100%. 100%. This is pretty good so far, though.
Order filled. Order partially.
Dude, that's just absolutely monster. Liquidate all positions. It just closes every single position. Like, giving it full control over TWS like this is absolutely so sick. So what I really want to do now is I want to actually have some sort of like brain to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to add on launch and close, have the LLM write a summary, a compression of all text info, so it knows what it said before and the actions it's taken. And then in parentheses, I'm going to say, so it doesn't behave like a goldfish between starts and stops for different sessions. So the objective here then is going to be able to, well, the objective here is going to be to take the entire chat history, compress it. Like, we're not talking about just like matrix decompositions, dimensionality reduction. We're not doing that in the feature sense, but at least in like the LLM compressed token sense, like summarize what we've seen and then have it as a history so that when we come back in, it has context for what it has done. So at least when we talk about our positions, talk about risk, whatever, it kind of has a clue of what happened and what it did in the past, just so it doesn't gaslight us and say, hey, like, why'd you liquidate NVIDIA before it shot up? Yeah, that's kind of the idea here. $27 years ago. That's a long time ago. That must have been a lot harder than what we're doing right now. All right, so now we have a way to save the session information. You know what this is, I think? It's still running the second session. Like between one run, it just wants to implode on me. It's about right. You know what this is? I see the problem here. We don't have any portfolio information. So when we initially connect and we don't have portfolio information, it's kind of just a mess here. Buy the best stock you can think of 100 shares. Just execute the trade.
Order partially filled.
Sweet.
Order filled.
Good. All right, so now we need this portfolio summarizer, this compression here. Arbitrage opportunities would be pretty cool. Philip Harris trade or something like that. Let's rock that. You know what we should give it? We should give it the ability to query the covariance structure and make those pairs trades. Wait, that would be pretty sweet. So let's actually have it query the covariance structure, and then based on the historic covariance structure, or maybe it tests for like co-integration or whatever, that it's going to place a pairs trade like that, like a long short on a particular pair. That'd be really cool. Let's do that. So we need to add it as a function body as well to IBKR here. So let's start with this compression, and then we'll move on to that pairs trade situation. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Okay, so let's have it test for co-integration. We're gonna need to hit the historical data endpoint then to query for a particular pair. So let's do that. Let's add to the tools for chat the ability to test for co-integration / access or develop rolling covariance / correlation structures. If covariance or autocovariance or correlation, autocorrelation sounds too fancy for you, just keep in mind correlation is just normalized covariance. Let us based on this information for a pair, we will have to automatically call these tools and develop these values statistically, then execute a long short based on the pair and justify the trade. That's really cool. That was a great idea, man. I mean, you could do all sorts of things with this, right? Just scratching the surface here. I still need to get this text-to-speech thing working, and then I want to be able to talk to it as well. So we're going to see what we can do there, and I can hit it with, wake up daddy's home situation, just like Tony Stark. What do you guys think of the live stream format? Maybe live stream weekly? That'd be pretty dope. All right. Things are going so far really good. Love the stream. Awesome feedback. Thank you. I'm glad to hear it. I'm having a good time. I don't know who that is all too well. I've seen like clips. Great format. Awesome. Glad to hear it. I really don't know anybody in the space formally. Love the stream. Awesome to hear. Glad to hear that, man. Really working on this pair strat script right now, and then we're going to feed that data to chat to make trading decisions. Awesome. I'm glad you guys are liking it. That's great. Would love to make this a weekly thing. That'd be really cool. Wednesdays, Thursdays. Dude, J.A.R.V.I.S? What is J.A.R.V.I.S? He's our AI portfolio manager, man. All right. So now we created the stubs for correlation, covariance, and co-integration. We're going to see if it can automatically call those stubs. And then when it calls those stubs, we should get values for the co-integration test. It should justify entry then past a certain z value. And that should be good. Most valuable content. Thanks, man. I'm glad to hear that. Have a lot of fun putting this stuff together for you guys. Undergrad from Germany. Side quest for quant skills. Dude, that's amazing. Controversial guy from biotech. Good quant content. I can't speak to that, but if it's good content, it's good content. What advice do I have for restrictions? Build as much as you possibly can. Even given those restrictions, build as much as you possibly can. AI-driven stat-arb pair trader. That is exactly what J.A.R.V.I.S is today. So it should be able to call a pair. Can it come up with pairs on its own? It's really cool. I didn't have the intention of making this explicitly pairs trading, but this is great. Not yet. Only pairs you name. I want it to effectively have its own arguments. If I say, hey, come up with some pairs trading like tickers, then should be able to on its own. Let's see. AI-driven stat-arb pair trader. Yep, that's what we got going on here. Creating, coding a dashboard. Yeah, dude, we're using Cursor, man. We're using Cursor, Trader Workstation. Should be a link in the description of this video. Get started with interactive brokers for the Trader Workstation. Doing this in pure Python right now. HTML, CSS, JavaScript for the UX and Flask. This is awesome. Thanks, man. I'm glad. Good piece of work. Model validation. Cool. How did I do on the LSAT? I did well enough to get a full ride, man. I did well enough to get a full ride, that's for sure. I used LSAT Daemon. I was grinding that stuff. It was fun. But the idea of staying up until 3 a.m. reading is, I mean, you got to hit yourself something special to do that, right? What is running in the terminal? Dude, that's J.A.R.V.I.S, man. J.A.R.V.I.S is running. How do you learn these languages? Well, when I learned it, it was pre-ChatGPT, so I sat there in front of Stack Overflow for tens of thousands of hours trying to build what it is that I wanted to build. So that's how I learned. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Very different. Oh, initial pair selection based on news. That could be a pretty good idea. Could rock some 4x. Could rock some 4x. Yeah, no, I do get the grind too, man. I went to bed at like 4 a.m. the other night working on a patch for discourses. I like the grind too with everything that I'm working on. So if you like reading American history and precedents and law and whatever, then, you know, totally rock it. Study math at ETH. What would I recommend to study math? I don't know. It's really a rep situation. Brute force combination of pairs. Usually, as of now, are lazy only called the default like educational pairs. Okay, that's a good. J.A.R.V.I.S on discourses would be pretty sick, but I don't think I can with Trader Workstation. But maybe that is a really good point. Educational pairs are going to be the issue. So what universe should we use for the pairs then? Or should we tell it to explicitly... For the pairs, should we tell it to explicitly... Top 5? Should we give it the tickers, or should we tell it to come up with it? You said if we tell it to come up with it, then it's going to use educational tickers. I do see that because that's what it's scraping. Let's see if we get it working first, and then we'll worry about the specifics. All right, we are live, connected to Trader Workstation. Full ability to manage our portfolio here. Run a pairs trade analysis using, I don't want to use, I guess, we'll use NVIDIA and AMD for now. What is the point? Well, you got to start somewhere. That news banner is super cool. Hell yeah, it is, man. That thing is sick. All right. Dude, this is absolutely huge. It just threw out this pairs trading analysis in Markdown. Nike Adidas could be pretty good too. Dude, we got to give J.A.R.V.I.S some life here. He's just spitting out text right now. I got to work on that. Static correlation 0.4, rolling correlation 0.41 for rolling covariance, blah, blah, blah. Granger code. P-value. Damn, no statistical significance. Not that statistical significance really means anything, but... Okay, I'll just tell it to find me a pairs trade. All right. Data mine a pairs trade. Why not? Let's see what we got here. Semiconductor theme. Okay. Confidence low. Action watch. Signal score 1.42. Negative 0.87. Half-life of spread 7.5, 8 days. About a week. Hey, what's going on, man? How's it going? NVIDIA, Intel. Z-score 0.59. Rock and VDAAVGO. I do mess with the semiconductor theme. What's the spread? Oil energy would be pretty cool too. Top ranked pairs. I kind of like the physical asset situation too. Let's see if it can long short effectively. Order failed. Closed position ADDY. No open position found for ADDY. Let's tell it to execute pairs trade for NVIDIA AVGO. That's weird. What does it say in our log? Oh, here. Direct trade execution via symbol ADDY. Seems to be an issue with the parsing. ADDY should be AVGO, no? going good. Want to ask whether using LM to build my own mini system would be a good idea. Should someone try and code it organically from scratch? Yeah, you should definitely. All right, this is like a really big deal, right? Like, what should you be doing? There are no adults in the room, right? Like, the younger generation having no exposure to. Oh, that was Adidas. Okay. ADDYY. Oh, I see. I see. Gotcha. Thank you. It was reading the wrong pair, and then it was trying to close a position that didn't exist. Awesome. Good call, man. Thank you. Got it. Makes sense. When it comes to what should you do? Shoot, man, I think you should learn as much code as you possibly can, but like not in the sense of just like sitting there and grinding it out, but like understand structurally what's going on. It's starting to turn into a giant game of just like chess or a giant puzzle where you're putting all the pieces together. There are no adults in the room who are going to tell you the right answer, quote, right answer, because like this whole vibe coding thing is so new. We're never going to write code by hand again. I completely understand that. But to suggest that like the younger generation doesn't need to understand, you know, what an if statement is, I don't know. I'm hard pressed to say that. They still need to understand logic. They still need to understand what's going on, especially for debugging and scalable infrastructure. But, you know, whether or not they're going to sit there and learn it, that's a completely separate story. But just keep in mind, like if you smash prompts into Cursor one after another without any concern for infrastructure, it's not going to scale, or it's not going to work in production, or if you run into errors, it's going to be an absolute mess. Just, you know, double-edged sword, right? With the you don't get something for nothing, so just keep that in mind. See if we get to take a pairs trade now. All right, that's that one. Execute it.
Order filled.
Cool.
Order partially.
Ha! Look at that. She placed a pairs trade. Or I should say he placed a pairs trade. That's pretty sweet. J.A.R.V.I.S placed a pairs trade for us based on the co-integration here. Long leg and short leg, indicating potential for mean reversion, 1.45. That's awesome. Super cool. Yeah, J.A.R.V.I.S clipped that, right? Quant researcher all day, man. Quant researcher all day. Pretty much everyone goes from quant trading to quant research at the end of the day anyway. Once you're done managing risk, you're done managing risk. Just get paid a whole bunch of money to sit in the mid or back office. I mean, geez. It's hard to say no to that. Depends on what you want to do, though. Dang, this is pretty huge, man. This is great. All right, I don't like the formatting here of the text because it's trying to spit it out as markdown and it's not rendering it. So I think let's work on that, and let's work on this this text to speech situation. Could be really cool to have a stock ticker too at the top, just underneath or above the news ticker, because that's a Bloomberg ticker right there, which is super cool. But having a stock ticker would also be pretty sick, I think. That'd be pretty dope. All right, let's see what we can do. I'm thinking... should we work on next? I don't like the way this is formatted, and I want to structure it such that he's like cooler, because Hello, I'm Jarvis, your trading assistant. Nah, dude, we want it to be more casual. Like, we want it to be like Jarvis, man. We want it to be cool. So that's the objective here. So we'll work on that. I think now we got to approach text to speech to figure out how to give this guy some life, because right now, I mean, he's got no life. Also, I think we should have some sort of like animation, like for him talking, kind of like how the that like orb thing was pulsing. I think that would be pretty cool if we gave him some life to talk to us about our portfolio. And then if we can integrate some sort of text to speech where I can talk to it and it can talk directly back to me, I mean, shoot, that would be that would be pretty cool. So let's take it one step at a time. We're doing great. Surmounting some obstacles here as it is. Totally agree. Start with ML. Had to use LLM, stuff to code. Also thought, okay, well, have you ever looked at electricity, power, trading penny stocks as PY? Dude, don't apologize for asking questions. You gotta ask as many questions as you can. I'll answer what I can. Have I ever looked into? Yeah, of course. Of course I have. From Greece. Pivoting to quant. My channel's bloody amazing, dude. Thank you. That's so sick. Good luck pivoting to quant, man. If I can ever help answer any questions, go ahead, throw them in the chat there. I've looked into power, electricity. Yeah, I have exposure to that. SPY options, mostly for VRP. Yes, totally. Worth time searching for edge and prediction. Oh, dude, there's so much going on in prediction markets right now and crypto. I mean, so much opportunity. It's absolutely insane. Like large institutions have so many regulatory requirements. So many regulatory requirements. There's so many opportunities there. Tell Jarvis to make money, dude. Jarvis is making money right now on this pairs trade. Look at this, 84 versus 22 AVGO to NVDA. Look at that. That's pretty good. Of course, it's mostly noise right now, but look at that. It's making money. It's making money. MLDL to background, stats, book coding base ideas. Yeah, man, you got to get that underlying foundation. Everything becomes 1,000 times easier when you know what's going on underneath everything. Let's see here. All right, I think it's time. Now to work on this text to speech situation, and then we're gonna format this markdown stuff. So actually, you know what we should do? On close, we should take a portfolio summary so it can relay to us the changes from the last time that we ran it. So on close, I'd also like a snapshot of our last portfolio values, positions, P&L, net lick. So when we launch again, we have it as a reference point for what's changed. So that way we can be like, yo, what changed since the last time, since last time we looked at the markets? And he could be like, yo, dude, like you're getting cooked on your AVGO position. That pairs trade was not a good idea. Quant literature you can recommend. You can check out my paper if you want. Social sentiment analysis sentiment analysis on social text is, largely my primary area of interest. That is exactly what discourses is. It's like literally Twitter. It's like Twitter, right? Like stock twits, but my platform, this is where I post all my code. This is where I'm going to post the code from this video too. There's an RPG element to it as well, which I think is pretty sick just because I love that shit. So figured I'd throw it in there. But this has the sentiment analysis from that paper baked in. So if you click on a ticker like NVIDIA, you can head on over to analysis and it'll run the live sentiment based on whatever text there is. I think starting with something that's like qualitative like that, if you actually are interested in quant research, is a lot easier. Just my opinion, unless you want to do hardcore math, but whatever. Talks GTA style, that would be great. Could rock that. I think it's definitely worth it as well, man. Getting a foundational coding understanding. No dumb questions, man. Is financial modeling knows quant work? Depends on how aggressive your financial modeling. Job adverts I seek. The job advertisement I seek Ask for skills in Excel. Accounting qualifications equals some others. No, I would say that is not like quant work formally. Aspects of it are quantitative, but yeah. How do you get Jarvis? Tried submitting my email for beta, but it failed, bro. This is closed. This is closed right now. This is running on my machine. All right, cool. So now we should snapshot our portfolio. Should snapshot our portfolio on close so we can ask it what changed since the last session. So if there's a massive gap down or gap up, it'll tell us. I kind of like the idea of it talking like GTA. That's kind of hilarious. Cracks are starting to appear in the chip stock rally. Dude, you know, what chip stock rally? That is not rallying right now. Everyone owns chip stocks. That could be the problem. Guys, if it's in the news, it's probably too late. Probably too late. Currently, this live is not really helpful to me, but in the near future, it will be essential resource to me. Please make it more deep, so when I revisit it, it will not disappoint. I don't know if it's for you, man, but you know, we're gonna keep rocking here. Hey man, would you take someone like me in your academy, or is it like WSO? I don't know, man. If you're ML postgrad, like I know people who don't know Black-Scholes that get hired by Millennium. Like it too late is just like, I don't know. I think undergrad they light a fire under everyone's cohort, like, yo, you gotta get employed. Otherwise you're done. And then and then everyone graduates and realizes that timeline is arbitrary and pretend. And what? Like, I mean, dude, there is no timeline. There is no timeline. If you have a background in machine learning and you want to pivot to quant, like, you can get hired as a quant. Like, I've seen people with PhDs in biomedical engineering go into quant. They have no idea what stochastic calculus is. Hell, they barely understand how an LLM functions, but, you know, they're cooking. They're cooking with fire, so cooking with gas. I don't like this last session snapshot, but I still want it on the back end. This is not a trading simulator. We are using Interactive Brokers API here. And that is where we're getting live market data from. And we're using J.A.R.V.I.S to interact with the market in real time. Good. All right, let's get PyText to speech in here as a starting point. We need the responses to be narrative, not just listed out as items. Read your paper already, but is something like written messages on Twitter not redundant to prediction markets? No, those are orthogonal measures, right? Like, if you have implied probability from a prediction market, that can be orthogonal to sentiment. And prediction markets don't always have contracts for those types of measures. It's a good question, but it's more of a research question. So I would say, like, you would have to run some sort of forward regression with both as factors to see if, like, it loads on the prediction market and, like, realize market sentiment is useless in that sense as a factor. It's possible it is, but it's also possible it's not. It's a research question. You'd have to look. You'd have to acquire data, and then you'd have to look, and you'd have to look at a large enough universe, a large enough cross section, for that to be like careful analysis. Intern trading firm to make them power forecasting model, tight deadline. Cool, man. Sounds like a fun project. We're building an auto quant trader. That's right, man. We're building J.A.R.V.I.S. He's trading for us. He's rocking a pairs trade right now. He came up with. What is J.A.R.V.I.S, dude? It's an auto quant trader. J.A.R.V.I.S is J.A.R.V.I.S and Rhythm is Iron Man. Hell yeah, dude. That's what we're looking at here. That's what we're going for. All right, let's see what we can do with this this forsaken text to speech here. This pi text to speech.
It's going well, thank you. Your portfolio is showing some interesting movements. If you want, I can provide an overview of your current positions or check on potential trading opportunities. What would you like to focus on today?
Dude, like, he's coming alive, and it's so sick. It's so cool. Like, it's so cool. But this text to speech is just so ratchet. We need something better. The Google text to speech was a little cringe, but like, I think it was better. It's gonna be slow as hell though, isn't it? All right, let's see if we can get something better going here. Let's see if we can get something better. Dude, the voice of Optimus Prime, that's funny. Do like a Yoda portfolio manager or something too. It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be pretty slow. It's gonna be pretty slow. Dude, a video on Bayesian inference, that's a really good question. Yes, short answer. Long answer, I'm a frequentist in a Bayesian world and it's cruel. So, you know, that's my thoughts on that. I mean, that's actually how you make money, right? Like with Bayesian updating. In the parameter space, right? Like, I'm not just talking about arbitrary, like, expectations. Like, you have a model and you you don't just fix the parameters forever, right? Like, I calibrate a model in 2012 and I'm just going to fix the parameters there. Nah, there's no way. Let's see how this works. See if this works nice. It looks like it had a reset in the session. Is that right? So it's making the request correctly. But I think that it's just slow relative to even Pi text to speech because it's not internal. See what's going on. Wrap this all in C++.
Audio test 1, 2, 3.
Whoa, it works. That's pretty sick. How do I define a portfolio? I would say...
Audio test J.A.R.V.I.S is online.
Yo, it's a British lady, J.A.R.V.I.S. We gotta fix that. A portfolio is anything Any type of risk that you're holding. It could be anything. Any risky asset. Cash is a risky asset. Yeah, check out Quant Guild, man. QuantGuild.com. Thanks for the reply. You got it, dude. How much money have I spent on tokens? Thousands of dollars. It is absurd. Thousands and thousands of dollars. So the smoke test worked for Google, but I don't know if it's going to work on Flask. So let's see. What up?
Hello. It seems we've had some activity since we last checked in. Your current net liquidation is around $100,000, with total cash value just over $50,000. You currently hold 100 shares of Apple and Broadcom, while your Nvidia position remains short at 100 shares.
Dude, that's pretty sweet.
Profit and loss is slightly positive right
That's pretty
now.
sweet.
What would you like to focus on today? Are you interested in exploring more pairs trades?
Look at that. It remembered from last session too. It remembered from last session. That is absolutely massive. Way too long. Way too long. It needs to be more conversational. But otherwise, it's pretty fantastic. Why is it a chick? Make it a dude. A British dude. Like J.A.R.V.I.S. Alright. Second, it needs to be more conversational. Way too long. Needs to be more conversational. This is pretty huge. It's talking pretty slow, and I know it takes a hot second. That's pretty sick. That's pretty sweet. That's really cool. That's really, really cool. Oh, man. That's dub. Yeah, dude, that was the Nvidia CEO. If his 500k engineers aren't using 250,000 worth of tokens, there's an issue. Yeah, man. Like, what? Come on. You better be. You better be racking up those token bills. The gym routine, man, it's been the same every single week for the last 20 years. It's been push, pull, legs, push, pull, legs. No days off for 20 years. Yeah, that was Jensen, bro. HMMs are ideal. They only are if it's stable. Certain states like factor rotation possibly indicating models flipping negative signal 3-state. Oh, it's a question. Yeah. The hidden Markov models can be useful for those. Honestly, like, you're better off with higher dimensional models compressing to like arbitrary nonlinear lower dimensional spaces, in my opinion. But, you know, everyone's got an opinion. Everyone's got an opinion. This is freaking sweet. Let's give it a run here. Whoever recommended Google text-to-speech, thank you. What up?
Portfolio value increased slightly, but you're showing a loss in realized P&L.
Fuck.
You have new positions in Apple and Broadcom, and Nvidia is now short 100 shares.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, so I wanted to be more conversational and like more like J.A.R.V.I.S. Great. Be more conversational. Don't start the conversation. If I say hey boss, etc. Should behave like my AI butler. like Jarvis from Marvel. Online machine learning RL can be used for regime detection, but that's like state jumping, right? So you're going in and out of different states. So like, sure, I mean, there's obviously a dependency structure in real life, but like, there doesn't have to be, because you're not operating with fixed distributions. Oh yeah, we could make Jarvis sound like Donald Trump. We totally could. That's hilarious. Yeah, Butler. Yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on here. Okay, that's good. What up?
Your portfolio.
Oh, we gotta restart it. That's why.
100 shares each of Apple and Broadcom, with a position of minus 100 shares in Nvidia. Unrealized P&L is slightly up, but realized losses have increased. Would you like to review your current pair's trading options?
Dude, that's pretty sick that it remembers our pairs trade from earlier. That's great. All right. What up?
Evening, boss. Just the usual, keeping tabs on the market and your portfolio. Anything on your mind?
Dude, this is so sick. This is like my new best friend. This is awesome. All right, let's see what we got going on here. See if we can make this faster. I mean, there's a lot we could probably do to make it a lot faster, but I'm not going to get crazy. I'm not going to get crazy with it. We're just going to rock with what we got going on.
Boss, ready when you are. Hey boss, ready when you
are.
Hey boss, ready when you are. Hey boss, ready when you are.
I don't like it. It was better before, dude. Now go back.
Hey boss, ready when you are.
No, go back.
Hey boss, ready when you are. Hey boss, ready when you are.
Dude, I'm hip. I'm going to miss a trade if he speaks that slow. Oh, bro, it's not even close. There was stuff I was working on. How far apart is public available quant research? Dude, I did something on, like, volatility surfaces that came out in an academic capacity, like, 5 years later. Like, it's not close in my opinion, but whatever, you know. In my experience. What up?
Just the usual, keeping an eye on the market and ready if you need anything. How are things on your end?
Dude, it's like really close. Like, it sounds pretty good, but it's not super fluid. Like, if I had... Like, this one was really cringe, but it sounded real good. I mean, it's probably generative too, right? It's generating the audio on the spot. Well, not probably. It definitely is, but whatever. Let's see.
Movies. Oh my gosh.
Man, that's so cringe.
Absolutely love them. They're like time machines, taking you to different worlds and landscapes, and I just can't get enough of it.
Okay. Gemini Flash TTS preview. I want to see if we can use something like this instead, but with the voice. think we should be able to talk to it as well. I'm wondering if there's like just like a baked in mic option we could have where like it just keeps reading it in as like a perpetual stream of text. Lower dimension to reduce overfit and jittery oscillating regime detection. Lower dimension detected states like broader market trends. Both. Y1, both. 2 Sigma had a good paper on this. Oh man, what was it called? It's publicly available. Let me see if I can find it. This is a great post. All right, let's see how this goes. Hold on, let's get rid of this. Here we go. Buckle up. What up?
Evening, sir. Just the usual, keeping an eye on your portfolio and market trends. Anything specific you'd like to dive into?
Dude, that is so painfully slow. All right, let's see what we got in chat here. What do we got going on? We got, what are the best life lessons you've learned from your time in quant? That's a good question. I don't want to just throw out nonsense for you. I think, let me think about that. I want to do a video dedicated on that. Cloud summarizes the article. That is optimal. That is optimal. Online machine learning is more of an adaptable approach to regime changes, where HMM is more informational. No, absolutely not, because HMMs can use Bayesian updatings for the parameter space. Like that's not the takeaway. Can someone who didn't study in a relevant field become a retail trading quant? I mean, that's like asking, all these questions are too ambiguous. It's like, what does that mean? And like anyone can be a retail trading quant if I make one algorithmic trade, but like professionally what you do, like it's just a very strange question. It's like, I want to be a football player. It's like, well, what does that mean? You want to play in the NFL? You want to play in the XFL? Do you want to, I don't know. Just don't know what that really is asking. Yeah, man, it's all about building and learning. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Here we go. We've increased the speaking rate, so that should help. I think it's just the pauses that were really killing us. What up?
Evening, sir. Just keeping an eye on the market for you. What's on your mind?
The punctuation is just too slow. I think that's really all it is. So the original speaking rate is totally fine, but the punctuation is getting it to stop like way too aggressively. Way too aggressively. Could I become a professional trader making consistent returns without having studied in a relevant field? It will be a lot harder, but yes. What is your favorite color of cheese? Probably white. Consistent returns without having studied in a relevant field. I want you to think of it like a business and businesses aren't built overnight. You're not going to wake up with an edge to trade tomorrow. It's going to take time to build that business, right? That's how businesses are built. Okay, here we go. So I think we're not going to pass punctuation now to J.A.R.V.I.S, so it's not going to be as painfully slow. It's just going to read it out as text. What up?
Evening, just the usual P&L shuffle happening. How about you?
Oh, that's way too fast. Way too fast. It's so close. It's so close. I do love the text to speech here. It is pretty radical. So can I begin that journey with Quant Guild? Yeah, you totally can, man. You can learn all the statistics, probability, math, finance, all you could ever want on Quant Guild. Not just on my website, on this channel. You can hop on discourses, talk to other people, see how they feel about it. You know, that's exactly why I built this. You know, not just because I really like dealing with the sentiment analysis and such, but like if you have questions and you want to create a thread about algorithmic trading, you want to create a thread about trading strategies, like go for it. This is where I spend, you know, time looking at what you guys have as questions or posts or whatever. So you check out discourses, check out Quant Guild. It's really what it's all about, man. So you're right. There does need to be like a speed dial button for text to speech. I think, is it Grok or maybe Gemini? I know Gemini does text to speech too, but it's kind of ratchet where you talk to it and can cut it off. It's a little flimsy. But we're going in that direction. What up?
Evening, sir. Seems like the market's been a bit turbulent, hasn't it? Anything in particular on your mind?
I don't know what this is called in language processing. Is it like rhetorical? Is it a rhetorical question? Hasn't it? I wanted to state what's happened as a fact and then probe me for questions and information. OpenAI. No, I haven't tried that yet. Yeah, it seems like the market is a bit of a turbulence working good. I don't like the hasn't it. Otherwise great. How can we move this from its structure and responses? Like a rhetorical question. It's kind of like a rhetorical question. I don't want it to ask me that. I want it to be concise. I want it to treat me like the man. Shout out. What up? What up, Dylan? Dude, total vibe trader for real. Dude, I think if I had to actually break it down, it would be 33, 33, 33. Paychecks, passive investing, and active trading. Like, the accumulation of wealth in that capacity, for myself at least, I would say it's quite literally a third, a third, a third. But, you know, not everybody is going to have that same perspective. Or no, I shouldn't even say perspective, but everyone builds wealth in different ways. It makes quite literally no sense to not try to build multiple revenue streams if you're exposing yourself to passive risk, like just market risk. Then like you need other revenue streams beyond just passive investing, whether it's dividends, whatever. That could be retirement, that could just be a brokerage account, whatever. You need other streams of revenue. You could sell calls all you want on that investment portfolio. That's totally fine. But like, you still need to generate revenue elsewhere. It's like actively trade, right? You have active trading strategies. You have more passive strategies. Maybe you also have premium that you're collecting there. And then you have another revenue stream for, software or whatever, like W2, corp to corp, however you want to rock it. But have multiple revenue streams. It makes quite literally no sense to me why you wouldn't try to nurture and build revenue streams over time. That's the entire point, is to have structurally diversified revenue streams so that if one gets fucking wiped, you're still chilling. But I don't know. It's just, let me rephrase. I do know, and that's my point of view. Dude, get this politics stuff out of here. That is not what we're doing. Not what we're doing here. J.A.R.V.I.S is told not to use rhetorical. Good. Seems like the markets have been a bit turbulent. Yeah, C++, Rust, maybe Java if latency isn't like terrible.
Evening, sir. Just keeping a close eye on the portfolio. What's on your mind?
That's pretty good. Not much, man. Just going with the flow on the Quant Guild live stream right now. Say hi.
Sounds like a good time. Hello to the Quant Guild from J.A.R.V.I.S. Enjoy the stream.
So badass. So badass. If audited to your performance metrics, 1.5 sharp, 2.5 columnar, could start a fund or not if I create a solid structure with a couple of dormates. Is that all right? Dylan, I think Dylan, bro, is that one strategy, or are you mashing together like a portfolio? Are you engineering a portfolio? Because if you're, structurally uncorrelated trading those sort of metrics, could be great. I don't see your max drawdown. I need more information there. I don't care about Commer alone. I need other stuff. Tell me what your strategies are, broad class of strategies, and if you're mashing together multiple strategies with different sharps that have orthogonal structure, and that's what's producing your 1.5 to 2.5 rolling sharp. If not, and if that makes no sense, probably has absolutely no merit. Thanks for the Python notebooks. Dude, you got it. You got it. Found them a year ago. Helped me in an internship, and now I work at a hedge fund as a quant. My man, absolutely electric. That is what we like to see. I'm stoked to hear that for you. Congratulations. Are you in New York? Yeah. Shadow trader, paper trade before calling it working. Maybe. J.A.R.V.I.S, make me J.A.R.V.I.S, make me $1 million. Make me $1 million. So electric, dude. I'm with you, bro. So electric. This is pretty tight. I'm pretty stoked on this. Give me the rundown on the news, J.A.R.V.I.S. What's happening in the world, and how might it affect my portfolio in the next year?
I can't browse live news, but I can give you some insight based on historical trends. Economic shifts or major policy changes often impact tech and semiconductor stocks like your holdings. Keeping an eye on interest rates, consumer demand, and geopolitical events is key. If there's anything more specific you'd like to.
If there's anything more specific you'd like to analyze in the context of your portfolio, just let me know. So it looks like, all right, our text-to-speech is getting truncated, and it looks like it's not receiving the news feed from up here. So let's fix that. This is pretty huge. This is pretty sweet. Any other ideas? We got the pairs trade thing going. Our pairs trade is profitable. Look at that. AVGO NVDA, we can close that for a nice 50 bucks. Market neutral too. I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome. Roughly market neutral, assuming roughly equivalent betas. Shoot, we could actually do that. We could see how market neutral the long short portfolio is. That'd be pretty cool. That would actually be pretty sweet. Oh man, that'd be pretty cool. Oh, we totally have to build that in. We totally have to build that in. Okay. Where should we put it? All right, we're going to have our portfolio. I think right here. We need to figure out how market neutral our portfolio is. Depends on what type of quant researcher you are, man. Yeah, your idea is working, dude. Great pairs trading idea. That really made this a lot more fun. That was awesome. We'll keep cooking with it. We'll see how market neutral we can make it. J.A.R.V.I.S could obtain. Then we're like Jim Cramer back in the day, man. That would be sick. Do I think it's worth quant researchers to learn C++? It depends on what you want to do, man. If you want to be a quant developer, then yeah, C++ or specific type of quant research where you're focusing on like low latency engineering, then sure. But I don't think that's what most people want to do. I think they want to, build some form of trading strategies, work on pricing research, that sort of thing. So I would say Python over C++. Been following your work for some time, more than a year. Really enjoy it. Thank you. Became an investment analyst at an asset management firm in Dubai because of my work. Wishing me all the best, man. Congratulations. You know, that is what I absolutely love to hear from you guys. I'm absolutely so stoked. So stoked to hear that, man. So stoked to hear that. Wonderful. Congratulations. Do long short lines, combined net asset value, and check the neutral beta, maybe rolling beta. Yeah, certainly agree. Certainly agree. Is it pairs entered based on co-integration? Yes. J.A.R.V.I.S runs a co-integration test on its own, determines the statistical significance of co-integration, and then takes a position accordingly. I'm actually literally just going to copy your idea here. And I think... I don't know if we can get a historic equity curve. Can we do that? Does anyone know? Can we do a historic equity curve? I'm gonna ask it. Yeah, see, the IBAPI. So this is what I'm saying. Like, with IBAPI, you can build a historic equity curve by pulling historical rec account summary, rec ID, group name. You have to reconstruct it manually. It does not have clean daily historic account equity. So I was going to have an equity curve at the top here. That would be pretty sweet to see the portfolio performance over time. But that's fine. We'll rock with what we got here. I still really like that idea for the market neutral components of the portfolio. So what I want to do is I think we could do cap M. I mean, I know we shouldn't use cap M, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm just gonna copy what you said, man. I'll give you credit. Stuff like guy in chat said. Yeah, I know. They don't support it. Dude, you got to get delisted stocks, right? Go to like Norgate. They have equity ticker like and you give it a equity ticker universe and you can get your delisted securities. Totally get delisted securities there. All right, so what we're doing now is we're going to query some historic data based. Yeah, we should use Fama French 5 or whatever, some other ones, but that's fine. We're just going to use probably CAPM for raw market exposure, because that's really what I'm interested in, is how market neutral we are. Yeah, you might be able to have some other loadings on different factors, but I don't care too much about those right now. I really just care about this pairs trade. Yeah, Norgate is great, man. Totally is. Ah, Dylan, you're telling me about your strat. Correlational strategy between assets based on vol profiles between indices, commodities, etc. Trend continues, pairs leaves like a capital allocation based on core regime. Cool. It sounds good, man. How smooth is that equity curve in like How smooth is that equity curve in like 2020, start of 2025? I think that's largely what I'm interested in. Like, how are you like long convexity start of 2025 so you don't blow out? Like, what's your max drawdown? What's your Sortino? What's your Sharp? Talking to you, Dylan, about your strategy there with your 1.5 to 2.5 rolling Sharp. I'm curious. How far and how stable is the return distribution? Actually, is probably the most important question. How stable do you see the expected value of that return distribution? How far back can I retrieve historical data? It should go way back, man. Like way back. Can public visible broker accumulation distribution data create real predictive edge and emerge? I don't know, man. Is definitely sufficient for beta. Yes, totally agree. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What's going on here? It's not connecting anymore. It's about right. Let's roll it back. Still good. We're going to start a historical market data request after we receive portfolio information. And then we're going to feed the info to J.A.R.V.I.S on the back end. All right, in the meantime, does anyone have a good speech-to-text library now? OpenAI Whisper. This will be uploaded after. I still have to design a thumbnail for it. Suggest pairs on live news. I don't know. Well, all right. So live news are being queried not in general, but based on the tickers in our portfolio. So it's kind of like a chicken and the egg situation. We need to query broader news in general first, and then we can ask it to create the then we can ask it to actually create the corresponding pairs trade. Love all your videos. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that a lot. This will be uploaded after. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to make the thumbnail and such. DCF and PE, like, this is what I'm saying, is this is not one-to-one, right? Signal is never one-to-one in this space. It's statistical at best. So it's like a DCF isn't actually going to produce anything that we are going to realize beyond expectations in a forward-looking sense. I mean, undervalued, overvalued, it's like, if it worked like that, you would just bet the house on something that's crazy undervalued. That's funny. Whisper is near instant. That's huge. How do I get that cooking on local? Do you think retailers have a chance of generating alpha? Do you know what alpha is? Are you talking about orthogonal returns to beta? Or are you talking about making money? Because those are two separate things. Dude, I don't got Choco. Do I have Choco? Dude, Norgay should sponsor me. I just plugged them. I do! I got chocolatey. Command. Sick. Yo, good shout. Good shout on Whisper, dude. Wasn't there something said about PE ratios not being the best metric, and rather to invert PE to turn earnings yield? Dude, those measures are just not... They're not like... Well, they're filters for decision making like any other model. They're not entirely useful. Systematically make money. That is a great question. Yes, you totally can systematically make money. How much? Depends on how good you are trading in a discretionary, semi-systematic, or systematic capacity. These large players do not care if you make thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of dollars in the market. It means literally nothing to them. Yes, you can definitely make money in the markets as a retail trader. Do you algo trade NQ and ES futures? I have. I don't actively at the moment. So happy I came across you. Very nice. Welcome, welcome. All right, this is good. Do you want to run the script? Nah, we're good. No, I guess we should, right? All right, this is huge. I think I've never had a success installing this before. All right, now that we've done that, we can pip install OpenAI Whisper globally. because, again, lazy. Sick. Later, dude. It's pretty good. It's running pretty hot right now. Okay, so now that we have it installed, we should be able to test it with J.A.R.V.I.S here. Give this text-to-speech thing a try. I'm curious if it's going to work while I'm on stream with this mic. Maybe I'll use a different mic because my webcam also has a mic. It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. What do you think, Roman? Who will likely get the job as a quant trader? An ML engineer with a CFA and experience, or a PhD from MIT? Not in S-tier quant firms, but overall. PhD in what? No, you have to pay for tokens with ChatGPT's API. And I'm sure there's going to be rate limits on these other APIs too. There totally has to be rate limits on these other APIs. Jay says ML guy, fair enough. See how this works. I don't know which mic it's gonna. I'm gonna try to look at my audio channel here with Okay, I see. So it's gonna let me select. I want to use the webcam. Allow while visiting this site. Okay. Hey, how's it going, man?
Evening, boss. All's well on my end. How about yourself?
Dude, it's pretty cool. Dude, I think we're getting absolutely blasted in semiconductors today. How are we doing?
Yeah, it's certainly not a great day for semiconductors. Your net liquidation is just over 100,000, but you've got some unrealized losses weighing down the portfolio. Apple and Broadcom are holding up better than Nvidia, which is still short.
It's pretty good. All right, we're looking really good here. Our rolling beta is arbitrarily high though because we have Apple exposure. I want everyone to see this. I want everyone to see this. This is very important because we are rocking a pairs trade. And this pairs trade has a high portfolio beta, relatively high, 0.64. Structurally, that should be much lower, right? Because I would imagine that NVIDIA and AVGO have comparable betas. So if we're taking a long-short position, then that should be closer to 0, right? But we have a position in Apple, and that is what's going on. So I'm going to be like, look, J.A.R.V.I.S, bro, we are nowhere near beta neutral. Nowhere near beta neutral. Please liquidate my Apple position.
Your position in Apple has been successfully liquidated. Sold 100 shares at market price.
Bomb. Absolutely electric. I mean, this is pretty crazy. Like, I mean, this is pretty sweet. It didn't execute the trade. It's 416. I understand. But otherwise, I mean, that is crazy. I just told him what to do. And he responded. So cool. Yeah, that's huge, man. That's huge. Thanks, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, guys. Pretty sick. And then that's what's going to make it closer to a beta neutral portfolio. We got a rolling beta here as well. It's pretty cool. We got a working AI portfolio manager, J.A.R.V.I.S here. I love it. What else are we doing here? Combined net asset value, long short equity. I mean, this is just about what I wanted to build today. Could give it a face, a little bit more of a face. Have Gemini like generate some sort of animation, kind of like the J.A.R.V.I.S glow sort of situation. I don't love how there's nothing here, right? I kind of want to fill this space. Appreciate you, Kyrie there. That's very nice. Yeah, dude. Dude, you gotta rip the split. Chest back legs, chest back legs. Just do that for like 20 years and you'll be straight. That's what it's all about. Any other metrics that we should add here? Like, I'm kind of seeing everything that I want to, but in the risk/CAPM section, like, I kind of want more there. Don't retire. Don't retire. Do something that you like all the time. Don't think like that. Skip the lower part. I can't blame you, dude. I understand. Oh, man. How much math is used, it depends on your role. It depends on your role, man. Like, it depends on the type of quant research, quant trading, quant develop. Like, it depends on the role and what you're doing in that role. Could use it an insane amount every day or not at all. Here we go. Revised question. Outside of S-tier firms, in 2025, who wins? ML engineer with CFA, 3 years live trading, or a fresh PhD with 0 industry time? For the same role, I would say, like, they wouldn't probably be competing for the same role. Who would I rather be? I would probably rather be the guy with experience. Yo, you built this system for the funny workout? That's awesome, dude. That's great. Oh, nice, man. That's cool. Very cool. Adding Whisper to the IRAG chat. Very nice. Very nice. I'm pretty happy with this thing. Any other metrics that would be useful here? This net dollar exposure amount. Like net exposure amount here. Like, these metrics are useful, but like rolling beta doesn't really give us a window, right? Portfolio beta doesn't really give us a window, so it's kind of arbitrary. I think it's for 1 year. If you take a look at the long leg and the short leg, I think I told it to go back 1 year. What other metrics? Anyone know any other good metrics to throw here? Like, it doesn't really make sense to throw the max drawdown. Actually, maybe it could. Why not? It's kind of a filter. That's why I don't think it's very... It's not useful in the sense of like a backtest. It's more of a filter. I don't think it would be very informative. Also, like, these long and short legs are not really informative either. This is a pairs trade that should have like a life of like 8 days probably. So... Portfolio beta, rolling beta, long short ratio. Can I cancel orders for me? Actually, that's a really interesting question. Cancel my outstanding order, Jarvis.
Order cancelled.
Yo, that's crazy.
Has been successfully cancelled.
Damn, that's cool as hell. All right. Jarvis, can you see the news for my portfolio today?
Sure thing. For Apple, there are concerns about cracks in the chip stock rally and imperfect chips impacting profits. Broadcom recently had strong earnings, but Nvidia had its price target raised by UBS, indicating some optimism. How do you see this playing into your strategy?
Jarvis, I don't know, man. This short-term volatility is kind of killing me. I'm like levered up on long, deep out of the money calls for Nvidia, really looking for that 280 level. Do you think we could see that in the next year or two?
Nvidia's recent price target upgrade to 280 indicates some bullish sentiment from analysts. With a strong growth in AI and gaming sectors, it's certainly possible, but short-term volatility could still shake things up. Keeping an eye on your options amidst this uncertainty might be wise.
What do you see semiconductors and chips doing over the next 5 years in terms of spending? Do you see it plateauing? Do you see more growth, or where does this all kind of end up in the next 5 to 10 years?
The semiconductor industry is poised for growth, driven by increasing demand for AI, IoT, and electric vehicles. Spending is likely to rise due to ongoing technological advancements and global supply chain shifts. However, potential downturns could stem from economic slowdowns or geopolitical factors. Overall, the outlook remains bullish, but it's essential to stay alert for any disruptive developments.
Entire market seems kind of cooked right now. I don't mind throwing risk to the upside with some reverse rabbits, capping, wins, covered calls. What are your thoughts?
Using strategies like reverse rabbits, cap trades, or covered calls might provide some income and hedging against downside risk in this volatile environment. If you're looking to leverage upside potential while managing risk, these tactics could balance your portfolio nicely. Just ensure you monitor market conditions, as they can shift rapidly. Want to dive deeper into any specific strategy?
Yeah, what are your thoughts on going long convexity in the short run? Just because I'm worried about the bottom blowing out. If I'm extremely long, say like market risk.
Long convexity might be a useful strategy for you, especially if you're concerned about significant downside risk while holding long positions. This approach can enhance your portfolio's responsiveness to market moves, potentially providing a cushion if a downturn occurs. However, it often comes at a cost, given the premium on volatility. If you think a market adjustment is imminent, it could be a prudent move to add some defensive positions. Want to explore specific trades or hedges around this strategy?
I mean, this is pretty sweet. I really like the way that this is functioning. It has access to the live news, it has access to my portfolio value. It's able to compress the historic text information, all of the trades that it's placed in the past, into a JSON file. So when I reload it, it remembers everything. It's not a goldfish. I'm pretty stoked. It can run pairs trades on its own. This has been really fun. Cool, man. I really don't think there's anything else that I'd want to add to this right now. Does anyone have any last minute questions or suggestions for this guy before we kind of call it? We're at 3 hours here. My first live stream ever. I had an absolute blast hanging out with you guys coding this project. I'd love to do more like it in the future. If that's something you'd like to see, give me a like. give me a comment, ping me on discourses, check out Quant Guild, so on. But yeah, like let's look to wrap up in the next minute or two here. If you guys got any questions, let me see what I can answer in the chat. Any advice on the CQF course for quant research? I don't know what that is. I build good projects better than all guys I know, but not from a target college and don't have a good CV. What should I do? Just kind of starting, please guide me. Networking, bro. Doesn't matter where you go anymore. It's just networking. Nobody cares where you go. Would you give this money for it to trade? I would give it the direction, likely, and I would treat it as, I mean, it's making market orders, bro. Like, I would never make a market order. Ever. I would place a limit at mid and concede to either side of the spread, but I am not going to let this place market orders automatically. But yeah, why not? I'd let it trade. Maybe I'll do that in a separate stream and we kind of just like, we monitor some pairs trades that it comes up with for a week or so. W stream, thanks, bro. Had a blast. Absolutely. Word. Unrelated to the project above. Looking really great. Thank you for sharing. Thanks, man. Maybe something about sectors. Oh, dude, regime analysis. Dylan, good. Yeah, sectors and regime analysis could be very useful. W stream, thanks, man. Thanks for hanging out. You had some great suggestions today, too. Thank you so much. Bit of a background in finance. Curious about your take. Long only, QV5, ranked top 5 quartile of securities. My take, what about it? What are you asking me? Volatility surface. Could add a vol surface. That could be interesting. Or even the implied volatility for our holdings. That could be interesting. Awesome stream. Enjoying it, dude. I'm glad to hear that. Thanks. When's the next stream? I'd like to next week. Maybe Thursdays can be stream days. That would be a ton of fun to do. Some more backtest results here from Dylan. Worst day, 6.41%. Damn, that's a bad day, dude. That's a really bad day. What's your max drawdown there? Sortino, 2.13, 18.31%. What is your expected return over that window? I don't really see. Oh, okay. Calmer, max drawdown. That doesn't seem like an outrageous equity curve to me. The max drawdown, do you have the beta of that strategy handy, Dylan? Nice to meet you, dude. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. You had some killer ideas today, man. So thank you so much for coming. Awesome stream. Seems like a cool guy. Dude, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, Dylan, if you got your beta handy, that would be great, but, you know, whatever. I operate on short-term contracts. Otherwise, I just do Quant Guild full-time. Quant Guild and discourses. Enjoy the stream. Thanks. Dude, thank you for hanging out. Had a blast. Add some donations pop up, Roman. How does that work? I have no idea. This is literally my first stream ever. I have no idea what's going on. I will look into how to do that. I will absolutely look into how to do that. And, yeah, we'll get that going. We'll get some of that going. Cool. Engage. Oh, man, I could do Q&As, polls, member only. That's crazy. I've never done anything live like this. Awesome. Had an absolute blast with you guys. I'm going to post the project itself. I'm probably going to... I think I can at least. You got it, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. I think if I look here... I'll probably post the Python script to discourses and pin it to my profile if you guys want to check it out. I'm going to probably throw everything into a single Python script in a monolithic way just so I could post a single script to that post. And then you guys can decompose it and then, you know, make it modular if you'd like to. But other than that, that's great. Cool, man. All right. I think that's just about it. Jarvis, thank you so much, man. You crushed it today. Come on, Jarvis. You could finish strong for me, bro. .34. Thanks, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. .34 is a great beta, but what does your beta look like in 2020 during COVID, and what does your beta look like at the start of 2025? Yeah, Jarvis had to go, man. He doesn't want to go. Oh wait, I turned it off. Duh, that's why. Come on, man. That's why. All right, here we go. Hold on. I would be remiss if I didn't do this. Hold on. This was the vision, guys. This was the vision. Dude, we gotta hit him with the daddy's hymn. Alright. Jarvis. Wake up, man. Daddy's home.
Evening, sir. Good to have you back. What's on your mind?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. That just made my day. We did it. We did exactly what we set out to at the start of the stream. We connected to Creator Workstation. We got Jarvis the ability to manage our portfolio live. Some killer ideas from chat. 4 pairs trades. Answered some questions along the way. Got to know you guys a ton better. My first stream ever. I'll look forward to setting this up in a more structured weekly capacity. Do some more builds. Work on some stuff. Maybe talk about the live markets. More Q&As. Who knows? But I had a freaking blast, guys. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I'll post this to YouTube. I'll post a script to Discourses. And other than that, thank you guys so much for being a part of it. And I hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. And I will catch you in the next video or the next stream. Thanks for watching.